Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 2 of Girl Chat. Today, Ivy and I are going to be talking about the female privilege.
Good
How are you doing
topic.
today? Huh?
That's a good topic, I think.
I think it is too. It's one of my femininity is like, yeah, like I love the topic. I just love everything that has to do with femininity. That's why I felt like, well, like, why not talk about it? Why not talk about if all the privileges that come with being a female, if it's that threat, if it's still recognized in society, if it's just like, yeah, our views, our thoughts on it. How are you doing today, Ivy?
I'm good. I'm doing good. My kids have had a snow week, so they haven't been in
Mm.
school because of snow. My little one's at school today, but my son's school is closed till Monday. So
Okay.
I have one of them. Good thing it's the quiet one. So I have one kid with me, and we're just relaxing, enjoying the snow, enjoying the time off. Yep, that's about it. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm currently on my period, so I really feel like a woman today.
Yeah, it's official. Our periods have aligned. I started my period too.
I know, right? Once you told me you started, then later on I started. I'm just like, oh my gosh, you don't even have to be in the same room or area. And like our periods are now syncing
Isn't that
together. Like,
amazing? That's
right? That's
crazy.
a legit thing. That's what's so crazy about like the body. Um, yeah, I'm no wonder on your Instagram you posted something about like having a snow day. And I was like, snow day? Like, where's she?
I know, like where in California could she
Yeah, I'm like,
possibly be?
snow? Like, what's that?
Right. Yeah.
So what do you think about you know, when you hear the term like female privilege, like what was the first thing that came to your mind?
Um, the first thing that comes to mind is, I guess, a lot of men feel certain way about our privilege, you know?
Mm,
Um, I feel there's men that like it because they like women who are feminine. A lot of masculine guys tend to like really feminine girls or women.
yeah.
And so I feel like there are other types of men who don't really appreciate that femininity. And
Mm,
so I feel those type of men might feel a certain way about our female privilege. And I feel like masculine men like it,
uh-huh.
you know, because if you go on a date, not every guy is going to be the type of guy that opens a door for you if you really think about it.
You're right.
Like nobody automatically thinks I have to open the door for this woman because she's a woman. Like that's not the way the world works anymore. Some people do it, some people don't.
I know.
So I think our female privilege exists depending on the people that are surrounding us.
I like that. I like that. Well said. Well said. I think you're absolutely right that some guys like it, some guys don't. I definitely feel like depending on the types of women a man is accustomed to dating, he will like those behaviors that he had while he dated her will carry on to the next girl unless she's like, no, I actually like my doors being open. I like chivalry. I want you to offer to make me tea. I want you to offer all these things. Like, I want you to like, none of this, like, oh, I'm sure if you're hungry or you're thirsty, you'll do it yourself. Like, no, like, it doesn't work that way.
Right.
At least not with me. um, and I do think that depending on I feel like some guys these days, I don't know. It's hit or miss. I've met guys who love femininity, who are like, any decent man, Nicole, would open your door. Any decent man will do X, Y, and Z. But I feel like a lot of guys have gotten jaded and they just feel like you girls expect it now, and that's just not cool. But I kind of feel like, well, back in like the 20s and the 30s, like I don't really feel like it was thought of that way. I don't really think it was like, oh my gosh, you girls expect this. Like, no, like we're not going to do it because you expect. No, it was just known. That's just how you treat a woman a certain way, and then men are treated a certain way.
Well, that's because our men used to be more masculine back then.
They were outside chopping wood.
Okay. Like, if you really think about it, we have a lot of feminized men,
I know.
you know?
That's so true. That's why Nicole's single.
And we live in a society that speaks against, masculinity.
You said it goes against masculinity?
Yeah, like I
Mm,
feel like feminism is really big now,
yeah.
And
Yeah.
so, but I don't like this new type of feminism where like they just attack masculinity. Like, I
I
don't
don't
think that's
either.
cool.
No. No, I agree. I feel like so I feel like there is a difference when some women say toxic masculinity. I feel like they're specifically talking about men who are just like overtly like just really controlling. Um yeah, but like okay, yeah, like that could be toxic. Just like there's probably toxic femininity where women can be super controlling, or we want to wear the pants,
Right.
where some women might be like, well, there's something wrong with that. Where I'm just like, I don't want to wear the pants. I just want to wear the damn dress. That's it. Like, okay.
And
Um,
that's true because like me, for example, at home, like I wear the pants when I need to. My
yeah.
husband leaves, he works all day. And so I kind of have to put on my pants and I have to make sure that bills get paid, just doing the administrative part of running a
Mm,
household,
I feel like
you
that's,
know?
yeah.
Because and I know for a fact that there's men that don't have girlfriends or wives like that. Typically like the man has to make sure the bills get paid, the rent gets paid, all that
Mm,
stuff. Where in my position, like here at home with my marriage, I make sure that bills get paid. I make sure groceries are in the fridge. He makes sure I have the money to pay for all that stuff.
that's how it was growing up with
So,
my parents.
yeah, so I don't feel like there's anything wrong with wearing the pants. That's what I think of when I think about wearing the
Um,
pants. Yeah, it could be much deeper than that. I know there's women out there that are single moms and stuff like that. But, I'm just giving my opinion as to my point of view, I guess.
when I think of the term wearing the pants, to me, it's like she is kind of like fending for not like fending for herself, but like in the relationship she is also taking on certain masculine roles,
Right.
where I mean, to a certain extent I do believe in gender roles. I think I like it, maybe. And it's kind of, I don't want to say it's kind of difficult, but it's like I was raised so conservative where, my dad was just like, you should just live at home until you're married. That's what the Bible says in the Old Testament, the book of Moses. Like modern society just did not exist for my parents. So I was raised with like, you're gonna have to learn how to cook because you're gonna have to like cook for your husband. And marriage was just like put on me. Education was as well, more so from my father. But I mean, to this day, they're still just like, are you sure you don't want any kids? Like, are you sure, Mija? Um, so growing up and like now I'm just like, like we're in modern society. I mean, society was modern back then as well, but like like culture is just so not that about tradition anymore, where
Right.
there's bits and pieces of my mindset that still kind of is, and I still want it to be that way. And I'm like having to navigate, all right, like I still want a guy to be chivalrous. And I do think at this day and age, it is on the woman to kind of like let him know, look, this is how I like to be treated. Because some
For
guys,
sure.
I've met guys where they're just like, Nicole, like I would open the doors for girls, then they told me not to. And I'm like, okay, well, this girl's telling you, at least for me, yeah, I like that. I think it's cute. I think it's sweet. I'm sure I can't reach things. I like when men are around. I ask them to do things for me. Like, I don't see anything wrong with that. I feel like God created men and women for so many different reasons, but like there's a reason why they're so much stronger than us physically.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we're meant to complement each other,
Yeah, we
you know,
are. We
totally.
absolutely,
You
we
know,
absolutely.
and what you just said right now, like you like to ask them for help when they're around. Like you have
Mhm.
no idea like how useful you just made like that guy feel like because I've heard that like men like
Mm.
to be useful. Like it gives them purpose. And guys, if you're watching, like, am I right? Am I wrong?
Also, if you want to help out Nicole, certain, taking out her groceries, DM me. My Instagram is, I'm just
Yeah.
kidding.
Homegirl needs to move all her furniture right now. Go help her.
I'll bake you cookies.
But
Uh,
yeah, and then I was looking at a picture you sent me where it's like check your female privilege or something, and there's a list of things. Do you remember?
I remember sending you
Uh
something, but like,
it says unchecked female privilege, and there's a list of things. So let me just read off some of these because some of these are put on here as like a privilege, I guess, but okay, here we go.
okay.
So the first thing on the list is we have a lower chance of being a murder victim. Is that true? Because
Oh
I
my
think that's
God.
fake news. I feel I don't know. Let me name like another one is a lower chance of physical assault, which
Um,
I don't know. I think the level has like it's leveled there, I
I
think,
think so too.
because we're less likely to fight back.
I think we are less likely to fight back. Unless you're like a woman in freaking Montana who knows how to shoot guns.
Right. But
Like
we're
we're in
not.
SoCal. Like I want to
We're
get a
California
gun.
girls.
I know, right? I'm just
We don't
like,
even know how to hold guns. A lot of the things on this list, I feel, depend on your background, where you come from, who your family is, because I can't relate. I can't relate to a lot of things on the list. One of them is cheaper health care, better health care, emotional encouragement. Let's see
okay,
what
so it's
else.
pretty much saying when it says check your female privilege, like what does that mean? Like,
I don't know. It's a list of supposedly all the privileges that we have as women.
I just want to keep my privilege as a woman. Like I don't want it to go away. I
Yeah,
I I feel like the privilege that we get as women is like a beautiful thing. I don't see any of it as negative.
I think it's a gift for all the bullshit we have to endure in our lives. I
I
mean, men
mean,
cannot, like, can a man wrap around his head you know, can they really just think about it? And I tell my husband, like, in the most graphic way, because sometimes they'll be like, oh, like, it's just your period. Like, you should be used to it by now. Like,
Yeah.
you get it every month. You've been getting it like all your life now. Like, and it's like, okay, close your eyes and imagine you have no control over a bleeding penis right now. And he's
That's
like,
like saying,
oh, shut up. Like, boy, you get a cold and you're in bed crying. Like, bleed for 7 days straight.
mm,
Okay. Out of your control, and then come back and talk to me about how women have all these privileges. It's not
interest.
nice.
Okay. So I do agree that we have privileges, but there's also a lot that comes with us just being us. There is a lot. There is a lot. Okay, so we're not specifically talking about all the wonderful privileges that come with being a woman, like having an amazing chest. I think that's a beautiful privilege that I get. Okay.
You get, girl. Not all of us get that.
But all of this stuff that also comes with being a female that's difficult to manage in modern society. Yeah. Oh yeah, our period is definitely one of them. And it sucks because it's like, so yeah, some people might think that like, yeah, you get it. I've heard that too. You get it every single month. Like you've been getting it for 25 years. You've been getting it
Right.
for however old I was when I started getting it. That's like saying get used to LA traffic at 5 p.m. on the 101. That's like saying get used to that. Nobody can get used to that. Not even us Angelinas can get used to that. And it sucked because this past month, I mean, I won't get into too much detail, but like this past month, just being at work around all these men, and I'm getting like sensitive. And I remember this one construction worker told another construction worker, like, hey, she wants you to get her coffee, like just to see what he would do. And he was like, then she could walk her ass over there and get it. And I was like, oh no, he didn't. Did he really just say that? That's so rude. Don't say that in front of me. And that irritated me. And I got so sensitive over it. And that's when I feel like we should still have different treatment, even in the workplace. I'm sorry. Like, I get that we're like, I believe in equality to a certain extent. Like, I don't want like this, I don't want you to talk to me as though I'm another construction worker. I'm a female. Be a little bit sweeter. That's just what I want in the workplace. Cause it's like, and then I'm supposed to control my emotions, control
Right.
my thoughts. So I'm supposed to go on some type of medication. What if I just want to do things the natural way? And I know I
Yeah.
can be like super emotional with like guys that I'm dating at the time during my period. Like one in particular, I remember I told him like, don't even talk to me anymore. Just find somebody else. And then like I mean I get that like they go through a lot and I'm well aware of that. But I'm just, yeah, it can be really hard and it's a little debilitating at times. And I am glad that we do live in a society now where it's so much more normalized to discuss. Because before I would feel like that wasn't me, ignore her. No, that is still me. My
Right.
emotions are heightened, but that's
Hmm.
still me. Like I shouldn't have to apologize for being born with the uterus.
Right. It's just something out of our control.
Yeah, yeah. And that's when I was just like, I saw this really interesting photo of her name's Rupi Kaur. I think I've mentioned her to you before. She's a poet. And what I liked about one of her poems, it was a poem about a female's period, which was really inspiring to me. Because I'm like, oh my God, there's so much I could say about that. I want to turn that into poetry. And she took a photo of herself in bed, and on her white pajama pants was red blood. And she posted it on social media, and social media censored it. But the
Oh my
whole
God.
the whole point of it was to show like this is a process of what it's like to be a woman. And I thought that was so cool that I love when art is, it makes you slightly uncomfortable because that's what it's supposed to do.
Yeah.
And I thought it was really cool that she had the guts to do that, because we're supposed to just be shy about it. Like I can sometimes be shy about it. And, but it's like, I think what she did is almost as though she kind of took her power back.
Yeah. I think you kind of do take your power back when you show, like, when you're 100% just honest and vulnerable on social
Mm,
media like that.
yeah.
There is another account I love to follow. I forget her name. It's like Dana something. And she posts a lot of stuff about body positivity and
Mm.
stretch marks, and your stomach is supposed to fold and show skin, and
Mine sure is right now, for
you're
dang
supposed to
sure. I'm
have
so bloated.
cellulite. So yeah, I really like her account. She just shows a lot of stuff that we don't see on social media.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. And I just think it's like, when I saw that, I was just like, oh my God, like that. And it reminded me of a scene from the movie Carrie in the beginning where she's in the shower, and then all of a sudden blood just comes down her leg. And every time
Yes.
I watch that with
Yes.
anybody, I'm like, that's my shower once a month, you guys.
Yeah. And like,
But we shouldn't. And I feel like years ago, guys, certain guys that I knew would always be like, oh my God, that's so gross. Don't talk about it. Nobody wants to hear about it. But I feel, as a single girl with no kids, why is it so much more accepted for a pregnant woman to be discussing her pregnancy, but it's not accepted for a girl to just talk about her period? Like, why is that okay, but this is
right.
not?
And it
You
should be
know,
normalized.
it should.
It's,
Why
yeah,
is your water breaking not disgusting, but like my period, blood coming out of me once a month, that is like, before that she had this. you
right.
know
Yeah. And your body's just like, they're both like miracles happening, like even your period.
it's a
Even
miracle
your
happening right
period,
now between both of us.
yeah, like they're both amazing in their own way. I know it
Yeah,
sucks having a period, but we get it for a reason, whatever. And there should be no shame in talking about it.
I
And
don't think
I
so
I'm
either.
I'm pretty grateful that, like, in high school, I had guy friends that were okay with the girls in our group being like, "Oh, I'm on my period right now," like, and they'd be like, "Oh, shoot, like, dang, okay, whatever." Let's just kind of roll back. It wasn't like, like, why you bringing that up? Like, shut up, or no, like, so guys out there, if you guys are listening to me,
Right.
thank you for not being judgmental when the girls in the group would get their periods. It's
Yeah,
nice. It's nice to live in a modern society sometimes.
it is. I will say, for that, oh my God. And it's like, gosh, can't I have it both ways?
Right, right. And this is difficult conversation because we want everything. And I bet you, like, guys listening to us are going to be like, gosh, well, you just want everything. Yeah, we want
Right.
everything.
Like you girls are just not
Yeah,
satisfied.
you're not
Like,
satisfied. It's like you want rights and then you want to be feminine too. Like,
it's so funny. My former roommate, I forgot what happened. I think I asked him to like help me with something. And because I just love asking for help from men. And I was just like, oh, can you help me do whatever? And he was like, oh, you girls with your equality, and you want equal this and equal that, but you're gonna ask me for help. And I'm just like, did you ever see me out marching with a flag? I didn't. So help me or say no. Like, don't complain about it. Like, but
yeah,
I do just like, I don't know, kind of going back to the female privilege, just what we do get as women. I do think that it's important for us to acknowledge how far we've come after. I don't know if you've seen the movie Little Women.
I have read half the book. I've seen the film with Winona Ryder, the 90s one. It was it in the
Hmm.
90s? Yeah. I've seen that one. Yeah.
There's a newer one that came out a few years ago, 2019,
I did hear
and
about it. I haven't watched it, but I heard about it.
it's actually really good.
Yeah.
It's really good because they just kind of emphasize on marriage as a like a financial thing, and how back in the day women didn't have as like any rights, and a lot of them didn't even have rights to their own kids. So this one guy was telling her, like, you're gonna go and marry him because he has a ton of money. Like, you think that's right? And she was just reminding him, like, I don't have the same rights as you. So yeah, I am gonna marry him for that. And I feel like at a certain point in society, they looked at women like that as gold diggers now.
Oh, yes.
And then I feel like now I don't really feel like the term gold digger is that relevant. I don't really hear it that much. But I do think that women still marry men who are financially, at a certain place. I think that still happens.
Definitely.
And I honestly, like, I don't really think, I understand that some men can get irritated by that fact because they feel like you're just going out with them for money. But then I'm reminded of a quote from my beautiful girl right here, Miss Marilyn Monroe, in a film where
Yes.
she said, you're going to get upset at me for marrying him because he has money, but you are going out with the girl because she's really gorgeous. Like, you
Yeah.
don't need it, but it
That's my
helps,
favorite quote
doesn't
from
it?
that movie.
I love that. And I'm just like, she's so damn right.
And
And
that's
like,
gentlemen prefer blondes, I think, right?
yes,
Is that yeah.
yeah.
And
And
that's
it's like,
perfectly said.
yeah, it was. And I just feel like it's so true. Like, the last guy I dated, I think I mentioned a few times, like, if I didn't look like this, or if my eyes didn't look like that, would you still go out with me though? Like, I mean, you can sit here and tell me you like me for my personality all you want, and I know you do, but I know you like that I like to dress up. I know you like that I like to show my cleavage at time. I know you like that I do all those things and it helps. So I know that there is a lot of women who are advocating for us girls to just be financially independent. And as a single girl on her own, I get it. Like, we should at
I'm
least.
I'm married and I get it. And I still believe that every girl, woman, whatever, chick, we should all be financially independent. And if not, at least have some type of income, you know,
Mhm,
that you can have for yourself. I'm not talking
mm,
about money that's going to go towards bills or mortgage or rent. I'm talking about money that you can spend on yourself.
to enjoy life. Yeah. And it's like I agree, but I also don't find anything wrong with marrying somebody who is at a certain status. Like, I get it.
Right.
Like, I totally get it. Like, there's this one girl I remember meeting in Washington or West Virginia. She was my mom's friend's daughter, and she, every time we would go out, she would just sign, put the credit card down, and her boyfriend was a doctor from Ukraine. And I saw like a few videos that she posted on her Instagram, and they're in Paris and they're here, and I'm just like, you know what though? Like, good for her. Good for her.
Yeah,
Okay?
for
Like,
sure.
there is nothing wrong with that. And I feel like if a guy kind of feels like she's just doing it for money, or girls are just going out with guys for money, well, at least for me, I was raised to, like, for not for security, but like, ultimately, traditionally speaking, you are going to get married and he is going to take care of you. And I still think it is a man's job to provide. I feel like that's who they're, the providers, they're the hunters. But like, if I feel like if a guy is going to get irritated or have certain opinions about that, it's because he's just financially not where
That
he
is
wants to
where
be.
I was just about to go there. Like
Yeah.
the only people hating on rich people are poor people.
Yes, yes, yes.
Jealous poor people. Because I know people who don't have a lot and they are the happiest people in the world. So I'm
Right,
not saying that money buys you happiness or anything like that, but it certainly brings security. And when you have security, you're not stressing out, you're not having anxiety, you're not
right.
feeling depressed or whatever. And where was I going with this point? But it tends to be people who are envious, if I may say, that hate on people with money.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I agree. And I remember this recently. I remember a guy friend was like texting me, he's like, "Hey, how are you doing?" And I was just like, "I don't know, I'm really tired." And he was just like, "Because you're doing too much. You need to slow down. You're over here talking about your podcast and you're talking about work and you're talking about this other business you want to create." And I was clearly I was going to start my period, so I was just like no filter at all. And I was just like, "Well, you know what? I don't have my Prince Charming who's super wealthy around right now, so I got to do it myself."
Yeah,
And he was just like, "Oh, you're right." And I'm like, "Yeah, I am."
for
Okay,
sure.
I am right. Like, what do you, just because you just work one job, like, don't sit here and like hate on me, dude. I do think, like, do you, going back to a woman's period, if we may pivot a little bit, um, working while being on your period,
I
do you,
believe, sorry, was that it? Or keep going?
do you like, do you think that that it's natural for us to be working and still be on our period?
I think that if a man were to get his period, we wouldn't have to be working while on our periods. So, yes, I do think we need at least 3 days off. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe
I
not the
agree.
whole week, maybe not the whole week, but like at least 3 days off, you know? Because there are days when like, I have a friend who is like bedridden when she has her period. Like
Yeah.
I know women like this who can't even get out of bed because their cramping is just so terrible, you know? You know,
Hmm.
I have cramps that start at my uterus all the way down to my legs sometimes. And it sucks. Like
Same
you don't want to work
here.
like that, you know? You got to dress up for work. Guess what? Your clothes isn't going to fit you the same because you're feeling just so bloated. So bloated. Like you don't even want to wear the clothes you wear to work. You want to stay in leggings and something flowy.
Yeah, I agree. I
Like you don't
agree.
want to wear tight clothing or just even dress up, or sometimes you don't even feel like putting on makeup when you're on your period, you know? Look at me. Look at this hair today. This is what I am today. Whatever. I'm embracing it.
As you should. As you should, honey. Um, no, I agree because I remember last weekend I was kind of going over some of my weekly goals and my guy friend was over and I was just like, I started crying. I'm just like, I don't even want to go to work tomorrow. Excuse me. And he was like, everybody has to get up and go to work. You can do it. And I'm like, you know what? Like, no, I don't want to hear that. I want to hear, Nicole, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I don't understand. I'm not in your position. That's a lot for you to go through as a woman. Acknowledge that I'm a female. Don't sit here and try to give me no female empowerment. Like, you can give me that later. Like I don't want to hear that from a guy. I want to hear, what can I do to help you? Let me make you some tea. I know I'm so big on my tea, huh? Um, I don't want to hear that you can do it. Like, no, I want to hear, yeah, you women go through so much and yet you still have to work. Like, it is a lot. And because I'm just like, I just can we, there are times where I'm like, can it just be like the 1800s right now? Like, I don't want to go to work. I don't want to have to. I'm on my period.
I don't know about that because what did they use for their periods before? Like
What?
I cannot think of a time like before pads or
You
tampons
okay, that's true.
what's the new thing called? Have you tried those the new
Cups?
the cups? Have you tried
No,
the
I never
cups?
tried it.
I have one. It's messy. That's all I'm gonna say.
Note to self, I will not try putting a cup up there.
I bought one. Let me tell you why I bought one. Because when the pandemic started, I freaked out, worried that tampons will run out. And they did. I mean, the ones I liked. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna just in case. So I have that in case, the world falls apart and we don't have tampons. But yeah, like what did they use like back in the days? They just used like
Cloths.
cloths and cloth like layers, right? Of cloths.
Yeah.
That's crazy. It's kind of
I
yucky.
just I just feel I guess I just feel like, I don't know. I certain women, I think it's definitely okay for us to be sensitive. It's okay for us to be vulnerable. It's okay for us to be emotional, and we don't have to be strong all the time. And I just think we should get period leave, just like pregnant women get like, what is it, maternal leave or
Maternity leave. Yeah.
yeah, like how come I can't get period leave? Why? And like, why is it looked as though I'm complaining? I'm not complaining. I'm just telling you the truth and how it is.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because my former roommate would be like, man, like you have like a hard time when you're on your period. You're so emotional. Like my ex-girlfriend, like she barely even got any cramps. Like you're a whole other and
Well,
like
she was either really lucky or she didn't feel comfortable showing her true self around him. One of those two.
exactly. And like this other guy I dated, he would say like, yeah, my ex-girlfriend, like she would tell me that she was cramping on her period, but like she wouldn't get as emotional as you, or and
Yeah.
I wouldn't really have to like she was just super independent and she would just do everything herself. And I'm like, okay, well, you know what? Like this chick, I'm still independent, but I want a certain treatment once a
Yeah.
month. Well, actually all the time. I want a certain treatment. But like
It's a gray area, like we want all
yeah.
these rights. We want to be treated equally, equally. But then like we want to be treated like women too. Like we want you to open the door. We want your help. We want you to help us move furniture and build things, you know?
Yeah. We want you to like cook food for us. Show up with a box of like Chanel shoes or like a Prada purse for Nicole. We want that.
Nicole, I thought our goal was to make enough money to buy that for
I
ourselves.
I am. I am. Okay.
Like we do
Like
want to buy it for ourselves. Don't get us wrong. We want to be our own sugar daddies. But
yes.
at the same time, it's nice to have a man be like, you know what? I got you a little something.
Yeah. Like all the time for Nicole. No, I think ever since I've been on my own, I'm just like, no, I am my own sugar daddy. Like, if I want a Tiffany's bracelet, I gotta go out there and get it myself. I want a pair of Louis Vuitton shoes. What am I gonna do to create that money to go and purchase it? And I don't think there's anything wrong with aspiring to have purses and shoes and clothing and
I mean, you like
uh,
what you like.
yeah,
I
I
like
feel
I
like
like boots. I like boots and music stuff.
yeah, exactly. I feel like at some point in society though, people will look at super girly girls as though they're like Barbie or something.
I think they already do. Like,
They still do.
I think I think we're there.
We're still
Like
there.
I think the girly girl is just seen that way.
I decided to own that. And I would always play that song from Aqua, Barbie.
My
Barbie.
daughter loves that song.
I love that song. And I
I
have
mean,
this.
like it sounds dirty, but she loves it. I'm like, oh well. I mean, I heard it when I was like little.
I don't
She'll
think
be
we
fine.
yeah, I
She'll
don't
be
think we
fine.
understood what they were even saying, but
Right.
like
We did understand.
I have this really cute pink like one piece and in white letters it says Barbie like across. And like I wear that proud. I'm just like whatever. Like I don't think there's anything. But you know what? I've never really been tomboy. So my parents put me in
I like being
softball.
the two things. I like being the two things.
Okay.
Like I like to be the girly girl when I need to, but I like to be like the cool girl too. You know what I'm saying?
Saying that as girly girls are just not cool, Ivy.
You know, the cool girl trope is what they call it. You know, the girl that likes to hang out with
Mean.
the guys, the girl that likes to hang out with the guys, drink beer, and eat like a guy.
Mm,
I could be like that too, but I can be girly too. I like being girly, but I also like to just be one of the guys sometimes.
that's so interesting because if I'm gonna hang out with the guys, I'm gonna be flirting with the guys.
Flirting
Like,
with the guys.
yeah,
So you need to watch When Harry Met Sally. We need to have a movie night. That movie, When Harry Met Sally. It's
good.
a good movie. Yeah, I have always heard of it. Um, and then one day I had it on my list, I forgot where. And I'm like, I gotta make it a goal, watch everything that I save. Like I have the
Right.
tendency of not doing it. So like 2 weekends ago, I was like, that's it. I'm going to watch this movie. I watched it. It was good.
Okay, I'm gonna.
It's about the male and female friendship dynamic.
Mm,
You're going to like it.
we should have somebody. Let's put like a number three up here, like interview a guy.
Oh, yeah.
Wouldn't that be interesting?
That would be interesting. Let's do that. Let's do that.
But like somebody who's gonna agree with us. I'm
Somebody
just
who's going
kidding. That's just my period talking.
someone who's going to agree with us. Oh my
If he
gosh.
like goes against us, I'm just like delete.
We won't air that episode.
I know. I'm just kidding. That's just my period. Um, yeah, I just when Harry met Sally, the guy and girl dynamic. That's see, I feel like I've had a lot of guy friends in my life, and for some reason, I don't know if we should say this for another episode, but for some reason, I tend to meet men only,
Yeah,
and
that
and
happens to me.
not like in a not like in a like we just start dating type of beginning stage. It's just I don't know. I'll just meet guys and then we'll just become friends. And then there are times where I'm just like, okay, I don't like this. Like, because this one guy was like, I noticed you have a lot of men in your network. I don't think I could date you because of that. And I'm like, all right, like that's fair. But
Yeah, I did have problems with like ex-boyfriends. Like I had like my first serious relationship. I think we started like senior year of high school. And after we finished high school, we were still together. And at some point, like we were having an argument, and he was like, well, you need to choose between your friends or me. I was like, what? Get out. Simple as that. Simple as that. Like, how dare you?
yeah,
If you have to give an ultimatum like that, what the?
I know. I agree. I agree.
And,
Oh
and
man.
and most of my group at that time, like, we're like 50% guys. So
Yeah.
I was like, how? No, I'm not gonna end friendships just because a boyfriend tells me to. Sorry.
Yeah. That's good. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like just my experience with meeting girls who are as like girly as myself and who like a certain treatment that I like to have and who have no problem saying things like, wow, how she likes being taken to nice places. Cause I like going to nice places too. Like I can be very laid back and chill, but I do like dressing up and going to nice places, like for dang sure. Um, I feel like the women that I have met that were kind of like that were really entitled though, to the point where I'm just like, okay, now you're like talking to me like I'm a guy. Like you want me to go into this restaurant and FaceTime you to make sure that it looks classy enough. Like, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna walk in, I'm gonna check it out, see if there's a wait list, and then I'm gonna go meet you where, somewhere else if you don't, if we're not gonna, if that's too long of a wait. Because I've been asked that. I'm just like, no, I'm not gonna do that, chick. Like you're asking for way too much. Like I'm not a guy. Find some dude to act that way with, not me. And or I
I think
remember,
they've sometimes women like that, like they just think they can like walk all over you or do whatever they want with you.
yeah, and but see, I feel like majority of the time, sometimes girls can be that way sometimes with men, but don't be that way with your girlfriends.
Yeah, that's
I'm
shitty.
not saying it's right to be that way with guys, because guys shouldn't be walking all over women and we shouldn't be walking all over men.
Mhm.
But don't be that way with your girlfriends as a
Right.
female. Like, and I remember, because I remember I was so excited to like, okay, I finally have a girlfriend. Like, I haven't had like a really good girlfriend in a really long time. And this happened like last year. And I remember she was irritated that I don't remember. She was like asking me about the guy that I was going to bring to set her up with. And she was like, is he what does he do? And blah, blah, blah. And that's all fine. But I forgot, I said something, some type of characteristic he had. And she was just like, I can't believe you would want to set me up with him. He has that characteristic. Ew, no, no, I don't want him to come tonight. Uninvite him. I'm not going to uninvite him.
Right.
Just don't interact with him that way. No, you need to uninvite him. I don't even want to be around a guy like that. Oh my God. Like he's really that cheap. And I'm just like, okay, you know what? Like this guy is actually a really cool dude. I don't care if he's cheap or not because he's my friend. I'm not dating him. And I felt like it just came with a level of entitlement and brattiness where I'm just like, I'm not doing this again. Because my
Yeah.
ex best friend from high school, she was like that. I feel like there was a lot of emotional abuse in that friendship.
Happens.
It happens. It absolutely happens amongst girlfriends.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I'm not doing this. I don't care. No, I'm good. Like, but you know what? She also, like, her dad paid for her condo in West LA. Like, she didn't work.
Right.
She didn't have to work. I have to work. So she was raised with a certain mindset. But I don't even know how we got started on talking about girlfriends. How did we get there? Starting to get head
Yeah.
fog from this period right now, Ivy.
Brain fog. Period fog.
Hmm.
So, any last thoughts on our privilege?
I want to use it right now to text somebody to bring me food.
DoorDash.
No,
Um,
no other thoughts on our privilege.
hmm. Yeah. I
There
guess
are
I'll close off today's episode by saying what I said in the beginning. I wouldn't necessarily call it a privilege. I would call it a makeup for all the terrible things that we have to endure as women.
like our period, like right now.
Mhm.
I'm starting to
Yeah.
go down.
You see, like, I got my period yesterday
So did
and
I.
it was a snow day. So my kids and the both sides, I have neighbors and their
Hmm.
kids. got together and decided to hang out at my place. So all day yesterday, I was like the babysitter, which I didn't mind. It's like nice having them here. But like I just got my period. It was insane. So by the time dinner time came along and all the kids went home, I was like, okay, great. Like I am just too tired to cook. The first thing I can think of was to text my husband, hey, could you please bring something on your way home? And he did. So that's really nice of him. It's nice to have backup, I guess, or friends, like me, my husband, like you, a friend or a guy friend or a girlfriend,
Mhm.
or a boyfriend, whatever, just helping you. Because sometimes you just need moral support,
You definitely
like
do.
sometimes you just need a hug. Sometimes you just need somebody to tell you you're not a total mess. Take a
Yeah.
deep breath. Remember, it's just your period.
Yeah. Yeah, a friend of mine, and he didn't even know that I was on my period. And he like dropped off like spaghetti, a bottle of wine. He brought me coffee. He brought me these flowers. And I was just like, and I'm on my period. This is so nice.
So
So
perfect.
yeah, it was cool that like, and he was like, enjoy, let me know when you want to shoot, because we're supposed to do a photo shoot soon. um but yeah, you definitely need support, you need friends, and I don't even think doing stuff like that should be like in the romance zone. Like
Right.
why, it should just be like, it's like, we're human beings, and you should want to it's just having support in life, you
Being there for
know?
each other.
Yeah, no matter what. Like it doesn't have to be taken as like, oh my God, I think he likes me now. Like
Mhm.
I know he doesn't. It's not like that. But you definitely do need humans to survive. Like we need support, absolutely. Men and women, like on both ends. Um, so
Guys, if you
yeah.
have a girly friend, open the door for her. Okay. Buy her
Yes.
flowers once in a while. Make her some tea.
Make her some tea. Thank you.
Buy her some chocolate.
Exactly.
Once a month would be okay.
You also want to add a Chanel purse to that list, go right ahead. Just kidding. I'm working my way to provide that for myself.
For sure.
Well, this episode's been fun.
Yes, yes. What do you guys think? Leave a comment, subscribe, follow us on Instagram. I'll link all that good stuff in the description below. You can also find the link to this sweater I'm wearing,
Mhm.
which I designed for my merch. Go buy
For
one.
her, that's so cute.
Yeah.
I'm about to make
Anyway,
some merch.
yeah. Go for it.
I should, right?
Thank you guys for watching. This was episode 2 of Girl Chat.